Are we back? We are back.
All right, we're back.
The person responsible has been thoroughly punished.
That's right. Flogged with an inch of his life.
All right. So, like we were saying, Escape Craft, Fang Fighter, Space Tug, and Star Viper.
Yeah, it's a goofy list.
Versus
kind of
six ties, but with a little kicker from the Interceptor there. Excuse me.
One of the things that I like about this scum list is it's a weird one.
It is.
Fen has nothing.
Totally unupgraded.
Not even fearlessness. The Jakku Gunrunner, also unupgraded, although that's not too surprising. And Guri is running pretty light, too. Just advanced sensors and debris gambit. So, basically looking at a pretty stripped-down list, but a lot of interesting options there.
Yeah, and he's got the Tactical Officer on the Escape Craft to push those actions out to his compatriots.
Well, it's pretty cool because it's essentially a double ace list with some weird tricks.
Mm-hmm.
You have essentially two support ships in the Gunrunner and L337. And
yeah, so looks like. All right, so we have
the game is beginning.
Yeah, we're a little bit behind him now. All right.
The tugboat, the
Alpha and the tugboat have moved.
Quadrajet transfer space tug, to be precise, is hanging out there.
So I think we're not going to see any real surprises here with the ties moving forward in the block.
I like that quad jumper placement. I like the one ace in each corner. If he goes after Guri, Fen can come in. If he goes after Fen, Guri can come in from behind.
And Fen does have the support there from L337.
Yep, an extra action can make all the difference in the right situation.
Yeah, I mean, not going to see much happen this first turn just because ties, they kind of take their time. We do have Martyn on the left side, Joel here on the right.
That's right.
Like we said, both these guys 2-2, so they really want to win this one to kind of lock in a chance to make it in advance.
Yep. So interesting, staying in formation with these ties because of Hellrunner, of course.
Yeah.
At least for now. That's going to get tricky with those asteroids, though.
So I almost wonder if the Alpha is intended to be the kind of, at a certain point, cut him loose. He's faster. He's got his built-in, what was it called these days? Auto thrusters?
Yep. Auto thrusters. Gets that. Auto thrusters on an interceptor is the closest thing to push the limit so far.
Sure.
Till Poe comes out.
Oh, nice tease.
He's been spoiled.
No.
He's been spoiled. He's no joke.
So you think we're just going to see him kind of come towards the center with both, or is Guri just going to be trying to bug out?
Well, the nice thing about Guri's positioning here is that Guri can just leave. He's got boost, he's got a fast dial.
Yeah, although I wonder why not roll down and back to just skirt down the back line if that's your plan.
Well, maybe they want to draw the ties forward. Maybe it's a bit of a bait situation. Sure. Kind of like we saw in the last game with the striker.
Mm-hmm.
Leading out, trying to tempt the other player to come in and then leave. It probably isn't going to work, but it's worth a shot. And if he doesn't go for Guri, Guri's in an easy position to follow up.
Sure.
So it's kind of a devil's bargain here, right? Do you go after Guri knowing that Guri can just bug out? Or do you try to turn in and deal with these other ships, which then puts Guri in a really great position to, at that point, start taking shots and being in a pretty nasty place? This is going to play out very, very interestingly, I think. The Scum player is clearly doing a lot of interesting maneuver shenanigans, and the Imperial player, TIE Swarm, playing it pretty straight, keeping in formation like you want to do with Hellrunner on the board.
It's one of those things where sometimes you see these maneuvers. So a perfect example would be World's Final last year, watching Simeon.
Yep.
And I'm like, what is the first, I think we streamed 3 of his games. The first 2, I'm just watching what he's doing, and I'm trying to figure out what the heck it's supposed to do, and then you see it all come together, and you're like, whoa.
It's next level stuff.
But sometimes you also see maneuvering happening, and you're like, what's going on here? And then it just never becomes clear.
Right.
I hope this is the former, not the latter.
No, I like
And I suspect that it is.
I like what the Scum player's doing here. I think it's smart. This sort of corridor of large asteroids is pretty hilarious because that quad jumper is going to be an absolutely devastating threat. Like honestly, that might
Just
have
throwing TIE fighters all over
seriously,
space.
yeah. With action, tractor beaming doesn't require a hit.
Yep.
Doesn't just requires good positioning, and he's turning this asteroid belt into essentially a tractor beam nightmare minefield for these TIE fighters. And that's the kind of interesting thing that you can do with that kind of control piece.
Sure.
It's a very scummy list, which I appreciate.
Well, and just you throw that alpha onto a rock, and that's
done
worth
so.
it all by itself. Three dice out of the game,
Hard to do, though, because
out of the round.
the Interceptor's very slippery, and the TIE Fighter's also pretty maneuverable with barrel roll and whatnot. But
Yeah, if they want to keep
putting
him in
it right
formation.
there, that's a huge threat. And if he turns in to try to deal with the quad jumper, Gurry's perfectly positioned to start
Yeah, it
deleting
looks
dies.
like that may be the case here.
Yep. Well, at least with the Interceptor. The Interceptor may just be splitting off, though. Because that's the beautiful
Yeah.
thing. Like, you don't have to keep the formation together. He can act as kind of, if this Interceptor kind of comes in, he can chip a few shots into the squad jumper
Sure.
without risking much. As long as he stays out of the tractor beam danger zone, he's going to be in good shape.
Oh, he's just going to say, no, I don't want to go play with you.
I love it. 2 reverse.
just gonna hang out back here. You guys have a great evening.
That's a brand new maneuver. we juiced that up a little in second edition. Used to just be a 1 reverse, I believe.
Yeah.
Hey, it's 2.0. That means
Those are
you
those
go
slick
backwards
Boba
twice.
Fett templates.
So I think we see Martyn Chivers here coming in hard with these ties. He's going to be like, you know what, Gurry? I don't want you to flank me. I don't want you to get in behind me. I'm just going to go for you. Everything else is so far away.
So Gary does have advanced sensors.
Yeah, Gurry can barrel roll and then just bug out, and then we might see that.
That's what I wonder.
I think you're right. It's going to be a barrel roll
Barrel
to
and
the left
forward.
backwards,
Yes.
and then like a 4 straight,
Yep.
followed by a boost.
See
God, that's rude.
Well, no boost after advanced sensors.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yep. What was I thinking? But
Advanced
still.
sensors now just a little bit reined in too, in that you cannot chain actions off of it.
Correct.
And you don't get to do any other action shenanigans. It just kind of shuts down your actions for the whole
Yep, certainly curtailed that, which I think was wise.
If you are wondering who Martyn is Martyn Chivers from the United Kingdom. He is a UK national champion.
That's right.
Did one of us call him Mitch?
I think that's his nickname, right?
I can't. I think they're messing with us.
Well, the thing about a troll from the UK is they're so dry about it, you can sometimes not even tell. You're like, oh, are you?
So who
Yeah.
split off with him here? That must have been Howard.
Who is accompanying?
So that's Mahler. Because
Okay.
Howrunner would not leave the swarm. I mean,
Yeah, that's really cool, actually.
doesn't make any
well,
sense.
Mahler can support this Alpha Squadron.
yes.
Yeah, it's exactly what we thought. I love it.
See ya.
Absolutely. Oh, but not a straight.
Interesting.
Well, this gives you options, right? Like you're out of the line of fire, but you're still in the fight.
I think that's range 3.
Well, here's the
from
beautiful
one
thing.
TIE fighter at least.
Here's the beautiful thing about this Gurry build, right? Had he done something different with those TIE fighters, Gurry could have used advanced sensors in an entirely different way
Oh,
to
yeah.
go the other direction
Absolutely.
and come in. So that's the incredible flexibility of that banked barrel roll.
Yeah, although I almost wonder, that fast 4 straight could have either jumped down the side of the board here, or it could have gone straight up had they all turned.
Mm-hmm.
And this was kind of maybe a safer bet, but also less wow.
Now this is really interesting. I like that you have this kind of little pocket twosome with Mahler and the
Yeah, they can
Interceptor.
hit real hard.
And they can just they can split off from the formation and do their own thing. That's what makes this list more interesting than just stack bog standard TIE swarm.
Yes.
There's a lot of flexibility here in how you play it and how you engage. And I love the troll move of just reversing out of there, peeling out with the tugboat and slipping away with Gurry. This is some classic scum play here, and I think you can see that this is a faction that players who like this kind of thing gravitate towards.
Absolutely.
So it's always fun to see some scum on the table for that reason. But, Imperials have a big bag of tricks, too, these days. A lot of interesting things you can do with TIE fighters in 2.0.
So here, your 4 TIE fighters have pretty much committed to go after Guri unless you're going to try and loop straight down that corridor, which I don't know that is to your advantage. Guri now can still outrun you, though.
Yeah, I don't think you want to chase her. But here's the thing. He can turn this formation.
Straight down the aisle?
Yeah, and I think that's a fine choice. He can slow roll it with Mauler in the interceptor for a second while he gets these TIEs back online. I mean, the TIE fighters want a joust, if at all possible, but they
Sure.
don't. But they don't want a Fen Rao range 1 situation because nobody wants that. So it's going to be pretty interesting.
Now, if the TIEs do that, Guri's in a great spot to barrel roll to the right and back, and then head straight in. That kind of feels to me like what's gonna be happening.
Yeah, we're definitely in that dance around at the edge of the engagement, trying to ensure a favorable approach. This is really what sets high-level play apart. Is this real laser focus on making sure that first engagement is as favorable to your
Yes.
list as it possibly can get.
There's a lot of the kind of like designing the battle and a lot of work that goes into making that first engagement be the engagement you want to have, not just the engagement that is given to you.
What I think is fascinating is they both brought the same obstacles. And that's
Sure.
unusual to want big rocks with a Swarmulus.
Yeah. Maybe just very confident with his flying.
I think so, and I think what this allows is it allows you to kind of dance around with the interceptor, do some interesting stuff. But yeah, TIE swarms, usually they take small obstacles, they put them out of the way. But Martyn's like, nope, we're doing big old rocks, we're putting them, you put a rock down, I'll put a big rock right across from it. You put a rock down, I'll put a big rock right across from that.
Space tug heading up just a little bit here.
I think the UK has infiltrated our Twitch stream chat pretty heavily here. we've been recolonized.
So the tie is not going in. They're going to continue, but they're also not really committing to Guri here, and now they're too close to that rock to hard one and go straight. So
this is interesting play for sure. That interceptor is all lonely.
Well, Mauler just hasn't moved yet. I'm pretty sure Mauler will continue on with him.
Sure, but he's kind of splitting the team. He's splitting the party, Matt.
Yeah, historically that's been great advice.
It's a bold move. It's a bold move, Holland. We'll see how it pays off for him.
Content to just zip along behind. Really wants to stay in that support role because it was just two shields, 2 hull.
Yeah, you don't want to be in the brunt of things.
Yeah.
That's for sure. But giving Fen an opportunity. I wonder if are we gonna have an ace battle here? Is it Mauler and his little trainee interceptor versus Fen Rao?
I mean, Fen Rao's okay with that.
Oh yeah. But don't count Mauler out.
Mauler with no Howl Runner against Concordia face-off.
Well, here's what's really
Fen Rao.
interesting because I wonder if Martyn Chivers is going to anticipate Guri coming into this engagement, or if he just really, really doesn't want Guri behind his lines.
It's a lot of resources to send at Guri if you're just kind of trying to keep her honest.
The Twitch stream says, don't worry, it's nearly midnight here, and the UK Team Championship is tomorrow, so lots of people will be off to bed soon.
Perfect.
We'll get our
So
Twitch
there's Mauler
chat
taking
back.
up his customary spot. So yep, advanced sensors and now bug out. So he took the time to bait them in straight,
That is
and now is doing
so
what we were talking about
flexible.
doing next turn, or last turn.
I really do think Guri is one of the strongest aces in the game right now.
Well, I love the fact that, like he just said, if you turn away, boom, she's range 1
Yep.
on you. If you come towards her, peace out.
Yep.
And that doesn't want anything to do with you.
But, honestly, yes, he's a little out of formation here, but I would rather be in this position than have Gurry behind me.
Sure.
That is for sure. So
It's
I think
just
Martyn's playing this
potentially
very smart.
dangerous if your list gets, if the Alpha and Mauler get engaged by all of Joel's list. I mean, Fenrau still a turn away from it, but he's going to risk getting pinched now by the Tug, Gurry, and Fenrau. That Swarm now, it doesn't have a great move to pivot down that alley.
No. I think Gurry spent a lot of time baiting, and I think ideally Gurry would have been behind the ties, messing them up at this point, but I think still accomplished something here. Still, Gurry's in a good position. The ties are not.
Mhm.
So I'd say advantage Scum in terms of that
Yeah.
interaction.
I agree.
But Martyn didn't take the bait. He's doing a very intelligent thing by, saying, yeah, okay, we'll just do this. You can slip away if you want to.
There, but not going to be shots. And Gurry doesn't have anybody in range 1, so nothing there. So Fen first. Fen
Here
first.
comes
So he's going to
Fen rolled out.
the pew pew pew.
He show. He feels it.
So we got some long-range fire here, just a little probing shots from
Both ties are focused, so not super.
Yeah, the question is, do you go for Mauler
Damaging.
or do you go for
Go for Mauler. He's got Swarm Tactics. He's higher
the
pilot skill.
interceptor? Yeah, probably.
He hits just as hard
Sure.
range 1.
That Initiative 1 interceptor is a heck of a blocker, though.
He is.
And that can really screw things up for Fen. Fen does not want to be blocked.
Although Mauler can block Fen just as well as a Initiative 1. As long as he moves before Fen.
So
Not great.
Not ideal. Does he spend that focus? No, he doesn't risk it. Does not risk it. All right. A little strafing fire, nothing, no damage, no paint chipped.
Gotta think I would spend the focus because you are going to only take 2 dice in reply.
It's risky, though.
And yeah,
And you're not.
who dares wins.
It's true.
That's the UK guys will recognize that.
That's true. Yeah, I think I probably
This is
would
the
have
Alpha
tried
on the Space Tug.
to get that hit in.
Space Tug's going to get 3 dice of its own, just debating. Yeah, come on, spend it. Those are some very pretty dice.
All right.
So no damage, no damage.
range 3 back at you.
Yeah,
Right, here we come.
Mauler gets to shoot back, and we will see if that focus should be saved.
Mr. Mythal. Might as well.
Let's see.
There you go.
Fenrau gets 4 dice. Yeah,
He's all right.
He's fine.
He's all right. It's the thing though. Those green dice are fickle. You want to have some modifiers, even at range 3 against a TIE fighter, especially with no shields, because a single crit. The new crit deck is just devastating to ships like Fenrau. There's a lot of stuff in there you do not want.
See, definitely people got the reference there. So I don't know if the
whether he's got the alpha
Quad
or
Jumper
not,
has
he's got that
the.
range on Mauler.
Yeah, he just barely has Mauler at range 3.
You guys range on Mauler?
I'll arc on the interceptor or range. Yeah.
Let's actually mark the interceptor from the back. If you want it, just for measuring sake.
The boathouse at Hereford it was Puce, right?
Right, you can put the other finger on Mauler.
I think I remember. Oh, those were the days.
So it's going to be
No range?
no range on Mauler. So now they got to check that barely there arc on the Alpha.
Can you let go? You're good.
Pew pew pew.
Net Diver, I assume by Paul you mean Heaver,
Yeah, you have arc on it.
not some other Paul. Paul Heaver is here. I don't know his record, but I'm sure somebody will flash it to us. Paul Heaver is 2-2. Look at that.
Okay.
Worked.
Tough crowd, man. This tournament is no joke.
Well, and it's also just like we said, meta's wide open.
It is.
All that kind of thing. So
it's a whole new ball game, as they say.
Yeah, we've got what looks like after the 4th round 5 undefeateds.
Wow, Jesper Hills.
Lucas Golonka.
Jesper Hills, now Windstrom.
Chris Norris, Alexander Farley, and Blair Bunky, who we just saw.
That Rebel list, yeah, undefeated.
So 5 undefeateds after 4 games. So not a lot of damage going through here.
If it doesn't end up in the yeah.
Now, let's talk the main block of the swarm, the 4. What the heck do you do with them?
Before we get
Oh, that was.
And can the Space Tug get range 1 on one of those 2 ties to throw it onto a rock?
And does it risk it? Does it risk that approach? I actually really love this weird little duel that we have going on between the Space Tug and Fen and Mauler in this Interceptor, while everything else is kind of
I think
in
the ties
margins.
have to.
They gotta get in the fight.
They've got well, the Mauler and the Alpha have to They have to take Fen seriously.
Oh yeah.
So I think that leaves the quad jumper, a spot to jump up in there and try and get some tractor action.
Well, I don't know. Or do you go after the quad jumper? Because you can actually destroy the quad jumper a lot more easily. You can kind of block Fen out with that big asteroid potentially. Of course, the quad jumper can just back up again. See ya.
Nah. I don't
Dirty scum.
I'm not gonna play that game.
This is going to be a really interesting round. I actually have no idea how it's going to play out.
I'm excited for the first time that somebody flies their quad jumper off the board accidentally backwards. It'll happen eventually. People are asking what list Blair is using to go undefeated. That was the 6 Z95s with crack shot, Blue Squadron Scout with Leia.
Yeah, hell of a list. We saw that on the stream last game. Really
cool.
expertly flown. Really close game, though.
Yeah.
If it weren't for one kind of questionable move by Whisper, I think that the Rebels would have gone down. But they pulled it off.
Very likely.
They pulled it off. This is going to be a very important round, and it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. Those ties are kind of isolated from the rest of the pack.
Yeah. No real good way for those other guys to get there without splitting it even further.
Do you run away with those 2, or do you just accept that there's going to be casualties in the glorious fight for the Empire? I mean, that's kind of the Imperial way,
this
right?
Isn't even the war. This is just a police action against the smugglers.
It's true. They have plenty more ties where that came from.
If you want to see squad lists and some infographics on the statistics and what's going on here, check out the Organized Play Twitter at FFGOP.
We've got a lot of great information out there. We're tracking as much data as we possibly can here to give you a look under the hood of what's going on at the Coruscant Invitational.
So you can tell here, Martyn is
critical turn. Tough turn.
Really thinking through these 2 ties.
Well, here's the thing. Martyn is in a rough place. The Scum player has very expertly boxed him in here. He's managed to peel these 2 ships off from the pack, and that is going to maybe cost Martyn if this round goes south. Martyn, of course, could also just leave. You can hard 3 and boogie if you really want to delay the engagement. So what is going to happen? Interceptor is very flexible. You can boost and barrel roll, but Mauler is a little less slippery. So
let's find out.
It's going to be interesting. Or do you just go all in?
Ew.
Fascinating.
Kind of. Oh, sloop.
A Segnor's loop. The newly capable interceptor.
All right.
It's always cool to see an old ship do this thing that it couldn't do, and they're like, oh yeah,
you can
do that
some
now.
new tricks.
But you can. I really like the 2.0 Interceptor. I think it's a ton of fun to play. It's much more attractive.
The quad jumper.
I figured.
Being cheeky there.
I figured. But this K-turn is quite interesting. Or Segnor's loop.
So what do you think Mauler does?
Gosh, I don't know. This is just a really interesting game. Swarm tactics could come in handy. Maybe Mauler just blasts in straight. Goes quad jumper hunting. Uses swarm tactics to get some shots. Because here's the thing.
He's turning everybody in, I think.
I really like this. No, I really like this play. I can see what he's doing.
Do you think the straight next turn clears that rock, or is he going for bank?
I think he's just going to go right through and not care. He's got a lot of TIE fighters, right? No, I don't know. He may have to
start flying into the
No,
rocks.
he's probably going to bank in and try to deal with Fen. Fen, you can't let Fen get into your list. And that's what I think is kind of going on with this Interceptor. He pivoted around. He's going to kind of keep Fen away. At
Sure.
bay, absolutely, because he's got swarm tactics.
You try to prevent the largest target you can to
Yep.
instill fear in him.
You know, here's the thing. Fen is an amazing piece, but not at range 2 and not at range 3. It's not where you want him. If you can get a 3-dice range 2 shot at Fen.
So Fen...
Where is he going? Remember, this is just a Fen round with nothing. Oh, but he's got
He just got coordinated.
L337.
It was a coordinated barrel roll.
Yep.
I was wondering...
And that keeps that's what's interesting. You've got two little pairs here, right? You've got L337 and Fen Rao who can help each other, and you've got Mahler and this Alpha Squadron pilot who are kind of in a little duo. So you've got this very surgical, very interesting game going on here. Clearly some expert level play.
Okay, so yeah, focus, Gideon, otherwise I just keep going back.
Still turning, still turning.
Focus.
Yeah, I'm curious. I think that this is smarter than trying to loop around the rocks, but I do wonder if he's going to start clipping that one asteroid.
If we were to do that, something like that again, and you save A, but then you try to get unit for token number you want to save A for a focus, you would have to do A.
Yes, yeah. Totally understand.
I really like this engagement. This is fascinating. Mahler, he's going for it.
Interesting.
You know, I'm
Hoping that the space tug went forward and get it range 1.
well, he can barrel roll to the left.
Mhm.
You know, try to come back into the fight a little bit. I don't hate that. But he's just gonna focus. Maybe get a shot. Maybe not. But
This is very, very curious.
what do you think? A 3 bank for Fen, followed by a boost, just blasting Mahler.
Yeah, that would be
That'd be
fantastic.
We'll see what happens.
She will take a lock. So I'm going to get it on the alpha.
Yep.
Okay.
Target lock.
Guri, if you guys are wondering, just has Debris Gambit and Advanced Sensors. So
Pretty stripped down, but advanced
Yeah.
sensors clearly could be used to insane effect with the
Yep.
bank barrel roll on the Star Viper. It's a perfect place for it.
And then the Jakku Gunrunner and Fen have no upgrades, and L3 has just a tactical officer.
Where you got to make this difficult.
So no big grand bank. And he's got to pick his action. Oh, so if you boost in, you're going to get shot, but you probably get range 1.
I'll bet Fen's wishing he had a nice, big, tasty free bank there. Yeah, that interceptor's really like he's basically just playing keep away.
The bigger,
I scared him off.
well, because the problem is, sure, you go in and have a great turn here. Where do you go next turn?
Where do you go next turn? And
You
also you just don't want dice coming at you without Fen's ability. Fen wants to be at range 1. That's where he wants to be. Anywhere else, he's not safe.
Sure.
I would say it's a fail. I would say it's fine because it's. Let me just take.
Do we get a rules extension for this? Or a
Just get a quick question asked. I think he had declared barrel roll, but then said he doesn't actually want a barrel roll.
Spoilers like this is all I hate on this stream. It's just.
It's okay. No one in the comments is judging you at all.
I want to be that person. Like I hate it when.
So I think he's decided maybe he doesn't want to roll out.
We'll see what happens. Getting the judge over. I think.
So they're asking if he can just fail the barrel roll or if he's committed to it.
Well, I believe according to 2.0 rules, if you declare it, you have to do it
if you can.
if you can. So we'll see what the judge rules. But I believe he should be required to roll to the left.
this turn or not. But I mean,
But we'll see. We'll see how this plays out.
Yeah, they're waiting on the marshals.
Yeah, so So he tried to barrel roll again, but of course he already barrel rolled with the coordinate action, so he can't barrel roll again.
Oh, that's
so what happens now is the question.
Is it a failed action,
I
or do you do something else?
I don't know.
You can't. I don't think
it's
you
not
can
a legal
declare.
action to declare, so we'll see what the judge says. This is a bit of a tricky situation, kind of a gray area, and that's why you have judges.
And a lot comes down to, not having a focus could mean a damage or two gets pushed through on Fenn, and that really changes his prospects.
Well, and when you only have, a few ships on the board, and you only really have 2 power ships, it makes all the difference.
I don't want to be that person, but.
Yeah, I think totally fair for Martyn to just want to be sure.
And it's tricky, coordinate's one of those things that can throw you off because you have to remember, I already did that. It was a while ago, but I did that.
Yeah, and sometimes, heck, it can be 5-10 minutes.
Now, the good news is that we are going to, pause the clock.
Yeah, yep.
It is paused, in fact. There's 46.
Yeah, it's not penalizing anybody to get the right answer, and that's important at an event like this. That.
All right, so it is a failed action.
So
Yep.
that is that.
It was the marshal of the tournament, X-Wing developer
Brooks.
Brooks Flugar Levitt.
Not Frank Brooks.
Not
nor
Frank.
Max Brook.
No, one of our many Brooks, one of our stable of fine Brooks that we have brought to bear on 2nd edition X-Wing.
All right. So that was the end of I.
If anybody's looking to work on X-Wing and you have a name involving Brook, definitely apply.
Yeah, you've already got your foot in the door at that
Storm
point.
Tactics, Night Beast, and Storm Tactics, the Alpha.
I'm just lucky I got in before we implemented the Brooks rule.
Well, your middle name it's Alex Brooks
Bryce.
Davey, right?
It's Bryce. So it's
Ah.
close. I kind of coughed in the interview, so I think they heard Brooks. Anyway.
So you've got
Can only get the
a bunch of Storm Tactics scene going.
Yep. So range 3 obstructed.
And I think the reason that was such a tricky call is because the template actually went down, and at that point you've done some measurement.
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody can really argue.
So we'll see if
Brooks' decision.
Yeah, we'll see if Fenn gets away with it. Certainly at this kind of high-level tournament, it's
So
really
Mahler
important to do
spends
all
the
your stuff
focus. Ooh.
So it looks like it's going to be one of those
All the
situations
green dice.
where,
Now we'll see if it matters.
yep, yep.
So that's 5 greens, 3 reds. No modification.
You gotta try to get shots on Fenn when you can,
Ooh, this could definitely matter.
Wow.
This could definitely matter.
Yep. Oh, one more.
2 more,
One more.
right?
So crit sneaks through.
It wouldn't have mattered, actually, intriguingly.
Isn't it 5 dice? Oh, it's
There's
range 2.
5. There's 5. There's a.
Oh,
there's
it's the white one.
Those white dice are hard to see.
So what's the crit?
I don't know. It could be devastating. We'll try to get that information. Yeah.
So,
So,
yeah,
the
focus-
nice things wouldn't have mattered. Focus had no bearing on that.
The bad thing is he still took a crit.
He did. Yes, that was going to happen one way or another. Pretty good round for Martyn there. So what happened to Fenn? That's the really critical question. It looks like
Damaged engine. So his turns are red. Not a thing a dodgy little ace like Fenn wants to contend with.
No, that's not good.
Are you okay?
That is not. I was dramatizing the moment, Matt.
Oof.
Takes 2.
So this is Gary's attack on the alpha.
Yep. That was a
So
dramatic
one
round.
hull left on the alpha.
Yeah. Crit on Fenn, but
Gerd will take
alpha.
that. Did not spend her target lock too.
No, that's excellent.
Which I don't think
Very exciting game already.
shot.
Quad jumper maybe gets a shot here to try and finish the alpha. It's like 2 on 4.
So Fenn is going to have white turns instead of green
Yes,
turns.
it just makes them more difficult. It doesn't make them red anymore.
It's not the end of the world, but it's not great. because those green turns are really crucial, or they can be.
Ooh, Alpha barely got out of that alive.
Oh, yeah.
Runner.
Whew. It's not over yet,
Oh,
though.
yeah, sheesh.
Ain't over yet.
Range
Range
2
2 obstructed on the Alpha.
obstructed.
Yeah.
I mean,
4.
I think that was a great, place for the Alpha, but it did expose it to some danger.
One.
Oh, green dice. Green
Nice.
dice. He's just fine.
All right. Back to those.
So now the ties just come straight in, and Joel is going to have his hands full here.
Ugh. Now what do I do?
But what about
Fascinating round.
so Mahler? I feel like Catron's not terrible, but you probably have better options.
I don't know. I feel like Mahler wants to get into range 1. He wants to make that happen. And what do? You know, the space tug can't fake you out forever. It's got to go forward this round. Do you come in? Do you try to get
Hard
rid
to
of it?
just line up a shot on either
What
it
you,
or
what you
L3.
really don't want is you don't want it rolling you onto a rock, though. It's the last thing you want. So you got to play this very careful zoning game. And that interceptor's in a really
Well,
interesting place.
The space tug has to move first.
Mm-hmm.
So he's not going to roll Mahler onto a rock this turn.
No, but you've got to think a few turns ahead.
Yeah.
You probably can't delete it in one round. So you don't want to be mixing it up in the middle there,
Yes.
long-term strategy-wise. It's going to be really interesting. The bulk of his, force is yet to enter the battle.
They haven't even shot.
No, they're just sort of like doing their by-the-book Imperial maneuvers, like blocking up. They're like, don't worry, we'll get there.
Guys, we'd love it if you would come join the fight.
But I think Martyn's in really good shape because it's really tough. Fenn's in a tough spot. Fenn is actually being zoned pretty hard by that interceptor. It's a really cool play.
Yeah.
And there's 2 swarm tactics in the list. So, he can, unless Fenn is the one who destroys that interceptor, the interceptor's going to get to shoot.
Yeah.
And that's important. You can't take too many. Like I said, every time you expose Fenn to danger, a crit could slip through. That was a crit he can probably live with, but there's plenty that you can't.
Yes.
And he's only got 4 hull. And you got a lot of ships on the board that you got to get through. So that interceptor's really doing work for this list right now. What needs to happen for Martyn, though, is he needs to get those ties in the fight.
Yeah, imagine he's doing fine.
Oh yeah.
Imagine
he's in great
had
shape.
he had 4 more guns involved in this fight.
Right.
For the last.
Well, and interesting stuff
10
too.
minutes.
Like Del Mico and Gideon Haas both have really interesting abilities
Yes.
that can impact.
Now work
fight.
against Fenn.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a damage card.
Yeah, absolutely. Gideon is in really good shape now. Any 3 dice you can throw, you're gonna like that. No, I think the ties are in a really great spot though. Actually, they can bank, to the right and kind of reduce Fenn's options, or they can just sort of blow through, or you can start splitting your formation up a little bit in an interesting way. We had a little bit of a jiggle there, but it didn't look like anything went anywhere. It's always tricky when you've got those low tables to knock them with your knees.
So just that 1 dial left to go down, and looks like we're good.
So this is really interesting. The match is still anybody's game
Certainly.
by far.
Do you go straight with the four block of TIE fighters, or do you bank them in?
I think that I would bank at least the front 2 in.
Mm-hmm.
Because, again, you don't want Fenn. Gurry's a threat, though. You don't want Gurry behind you. I don't know. It's a tough call. Really tough call.
I just want to see the space tug get into the action here.
I think it will.
Start tugging.
I think it's coming in. It wants to be fighting in the rocks. That's where it wants to be, and it's kind of set up to do that. So I think he's going for a block. That's exciting. Oh, maybe here's what I think is going to happen. He's going to try to block Fenn and then burn him down with the rest of those ties. I think that's what we're looking at here. I think we're gonna see a boost in barrel roll.
So clears the stress, takes the lock with it.
We'll see.
Now, do you think the boosted barrel would stop if he really just poured the gas on and tried to fly by everything?
No, I think if Fenn goes 5 straight, he's fine, but then he's also not getting any shots.
Yeah.
So you got to be okay with that. And then you can sort of chase him around with that
He
interceptor
just
too.
focused though, I think.
Yeah. Maybe. So maybe he's just zoning again.
Make him just keep him honest.
Yeah. I always like to get fancy and predict a whole bunch of things that are probably not going to happen. Here comes quad jumper.
He's gonna get to.
I don't know if
do it.
I don't know if I like that barrel roll. That's gonna
Well-
expose that quad jumper to a lot of TIE fighter attack. I don't know that you want to roll into dodge like that.
But if he all banks, then maybe it's not so
No,
bad.
man, he's got barrel rolls on those TIE fighters. You think a TIE fighter ain't got barrel roll?
No, but is he gonna use them?
I would.
Not hope that Fenn ends up someplace he can shoot.
No, take the bird in the hand. Blow that quad jumper up. You open up that whole middle zone.
He's not.
No, all right. I guess we'll see.
And we also have to. You can't discount L5, L3. Not L5.
No,
it's
yeah,
the later
because
version.
there's
The
there's
coordinate
a
action
coordinate.
can get some shenanigans going.
You can coordinate a tractor beam.
I
Space
know.
tug.
That's what
Pretty sweet.
That's one of the things that went through my head here.
Yep. Aha!
So the focus, that was Night Beast. Focus was from the move.
See? See? I'm vindicated.
You win this time, Davey.
No, that's the play. You got a nice range one shot. You're not in arc. That's where you want to be. You have swarm tactics. You got Hell Runner. You got all the exciting stuff. Plus, again, remember with Gideon and Dell, you want to put that damage on. That's what you want.
Sure.
You want to spread it out. You want to just have this nice equal opportunity damage festival for the whole enemy list. Really like Martyn's positioning here.
Tug. Track your ball.
Yeah, there we go.
When you barrel rolled, I was like,
Martyn saw that coming. So back onto the rock.
Yep. Smart. Smart play.
Now Muller still has yet to move, but
Yeah, he's going to go somewhere weird.
his maneuver's gonna end up someplace screwed up.
I love it, man. Coordinate tractor beam is such a great.
And he gets the damage out of it too, so full value tractor beam there.
I love both of these lists, and I love both of these players. This is a very interesting game.
and then all the rest of you guys, all the rest of mine.
What a fascinating. No smaller as of the moment, but he has.
Got either.
Right.
To target.
Gideon,
After you can and hit the coordinate or get it at that
they're all
juncture.
Last one goes straight in.
Well, the question is, do you roll? Do you roll and get more shots on the quad jumper?
focus,
Nope.
power runner, hard one.
Okay.
Hmm.
No, he's got to recognize the incredible threat that Fenn Rao poses.
Yeah.
And
So if he does 5 straight, he's now dead in front of Hell Runner.
exactly.
And Hell Runner's ability now works on her too.
Well,
doesn't
and
it?
yeah, you're opening yourself up to a few little shots here and there, but the scum list does not really bring a lot of firepower to the table.
Yeah.
It's got nasty ships, nasty aces, but they're very positioning dependent. And when you have this many ships,
So
you
you
can
both there.
afford to
Hard
take
one
it.
for
Yep.
Muller.
Yep. Well, it seems like Martyn also knew what was going to happen ahead of time. That was a smart play. Now he's got the opportunity to barrel roll out of arc if he wants to, or just barrel roll into a tasty range one shot on
Yeah. Now, it
L337.
also comes down to what does he think Guri's going to do?
That doesn't
Right.
count as me doing a barrel roll.
Oh, okay. So then clarifying so that he makes sure that he can barrel roll even though he was tractored, which is smart because
He's been burned on that once before.
he has. So now what do you do?
Actually, he's seen that.
He's got to look really hard because I think he is. I think he's going to go for that tasty range one because you want to hit that little coordinate ship. It's so effective.
Well, I mean, it's also points.
You happy that that's? Yep.
God, what an interesting. Look at that shirt. He's got jokes. I think he's got a good reason to be confident, though. He's flying very, very well. Both players are. And
Yeah,
he did it. Yeah,
the fight has shaken up so much here.
He's a man
in terms
after
of,
my own heart because
in
that
terms of what we're going to see.
is exactly what I would want.
Yes.
And it looks like this little duo is taking the brunt of the hits, but they're also doing the brunt of the work here.
Ooh, Gary is going to have a great shot on Mauler.
Well, I don't think Mahler's long for this world, but I think Mahler knows that
agility.
Listen, he's not that expensive. If he gets one nasty shot in at L337 here, it's worth it.
Sure.
For everything else he's already done. And this is beautiful setup. I want to get like John Madden on this thing and start drawing arrows on the screen. When are we going to get that technology? Because look at this tie formation. It's beautiful. He's kept the Howlrunner bonus in play. He's spread things out. He's got Miko and
he got 5
Gideon.
straight. So he floored it past.
He knew.
Howlrunner is in a great position then.
Well, this is the thing. I don't think Fenn's going to be able to get into range 1. And if you can consistently deny Fenn that range 1 attack.
I don't even know if a boost gets an arc.
I think it would, but do you want to get close? I don't think you want that. You don't want to be at range 2. That's exactly where Fenn doesn't want to be. It's the worst place for him. Yeah, I mean, he's got to get some damage on. And he's got a shot on Howlrunner, right? So that's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Token up.
Barely.
Yeah. And here's where that damage engine comes into play, because now his turns are light, and he's got to stress. So he's already way less effective than an uninjured Fenn would be in this scenario. So he's going to have a harder time. I mean, a bank and a boost will still get you back in the fight, but not the same way, you know, like a hard 2 is going to put you back into things.
It's much more impactful all of a sudden when you have that stress.
Dion from Gold Squadron Podcast has been doing some screen drawing technology. I'll have to get on the that advanced technology. I'll have to get him on the horn.
May as well. Swap tactics, Delmico.
I just had a really good conversation with the Gold Squadron people at Nova. It's a fun little panel that we were on together.
Gary's going to get the focus to go with her target lock.
Oh, you. Gary's in the sweet spot, even if Fenn isn't.
I think it just misses, but I'm not sure.
Range 1. Ooh, close.
Looks into me.
Yeah.
Do you agree?
Scroll for me.
Yeah, I think it is just in.
Okay.
All right, Fenn's going to get a shot.
Range 2 on Howlrunner.
Yeah, but like we said, not where Fenn wants to be.
Well, and Martyn's not running with Iden. Idenless, which means
He can't afford to
Howlrunner.
spend that focus, though.
I don't think.
think.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, just
No.
leave it with 1.
Yep.
And
Not as-
Howlrunner's going to take it.
I would.
Yeah.
I would.
Yeah, this is your chance to put more
you
damage
don't
on
get,
Fenn.
You don't get many nice. Well, and one more damage, you got half points. That's
True.
another thing to factor in.
True.
In 2.0, it's a whole new thing you have to think about.
Fenn got the token from the linked action. He boosted into
That is
focus, right? Yeah, boosted into focus.
Yeah. Here we go. Couple ammo. Good roll.
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh, that is not what you want. It's not
that's
what
on
you want.
that's L5.
Yeah,
L3.
that's real bad. It's real bad because you could just delete it right here. That would be a very, very, very unfortunate turn of events for the Scum player. Mauler. All right, you got to show some paint. Come on, L3. There we go. Okay, so that just balanced right out, didn't it? Balanced right out.
Now,
Do you have any more 5s that are shooting?
it's just Howlrunner.
yeah, Howlrunner still has to shoot at Fenn, which is going to be the
Ammo. Heck yeah, obviously.
yeah, you don't get any more shots.
I mean, here's where you put damage on Fenn.
You don't though. But
Yeah.
you don't.
But you don't. Well, he's a slippery beast. Slippery beast.
So then we've got
So now it's onto the lower pilot skill stuff.
range
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is where we see Mauler go by.
5-3 into your 2.
What you looking for?
Can you pull up the other list?
Target lock. Lock. For 3 hits.
Double evade.
Yes, not going to help here. Oh, man.
Wow. Okay. Scum players' luck really turned around.
The Imperial.
Or yeah, sorry.
Yeah, Mahler lives through.
Yeah, that's impressive.
How many green dice?
Can't shoot L3. Do I have
Tractor
arms
tokens
on the
reduced agility still?
Yes.
Did he roll 2 green dice?
I missed it. I wasn't looking at the dice cup.
Can I get your opinion on?
Sorry, what? You want to
Gideon
see Gideon onto
onto the tug?
put your hand on the tug. Come over here. Put your hand on Gideon. That way, if I step up,
Awfully forward of you.
we're all.
So
All right, here we've
Gideon's
got
shooting at the
the
tug who's unhurt, correct?
trying to ensure
Yeah, tug's unhurt.
nothing gets messed up.
So what's next? Your two?
Yeah, I'm just trying to let go without nudging it.
Somehow, something about the cardboard X-Wing is made of becomes incredibly adhesive to skin
right.
at the exact wrong moment.
That's right. It's our secret formula. Ah, it's not bad.
That's on the
Tugster. Well, and here's what's so fun about these lists. There's almost no shields.
structural damage.
Oh, yeah. Means no more agility 2. What's cool about both of these lists is there's just not a lot of shields on the table, so crits are going to be in play in a major way.
So that's a range.
Much more dangerous.
Guri's the only one with a shield left, I think, right?
No.
Didn't L337 tick 2?
Oh yeah, those are flipped over now.
Yeah. There's only one shield left on the table.
And Alpha gets away.
No problem.
Your one has no shot. Yeah. So the gun runner.
What an interesting game.
Range
Try
1
and
in the hole.
Oh,
kill
Mahler.
Mahler again.
3 dice, and that tractor token's going to come into play here with a reduced agility. So he's got 2 dice.
Try it again.
Tractor token.
No.
Well,
All right, so he still got him.
And the crit is voided instead.
all right.
I would say he definitely qualifies as one.
Oh yeah, I'd say he's.
All right. So
That was
is
some beautiful tractor play there by the.
Yes.
by
Yeah,
scum player.
the damage from the rock. I guess he would have died either way, but he would have been in a different position too. So
Joel
who knows?
certainly proving his Killingsworth, I would say.
please don't.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But that tug's probably not going to last much longer.
Yeah, I mean it's only got 3 hull. He's only got 1
The
agility.
forum's quite
That is-
justifiably booing me.
Easy meat for these TIE fighters. So the interceptor. K-turn? Hard 1?
For the interceptor?
Yeah. What?
Maybe you chase Fen. I think you chase Fen. 1, that keeps you out of danger. 2, you're going to maybe get some range 2, range 3, 3 dice shots.
Or at least force him to.
Keeps him honest.
Yeah.
Yeah,
force him to
I
deal.
would take him after Fen for sure. Because Guri's far away. The tugboat and L337 are not going to pose a threat. You can keep your interceptor on 1 health and contributing hugely to this fight. You get closer to Hellrunner and keeps your squad, your swarm tactics online. Yeah, I think you totally do. Plus, if you're close to Del, you get rerolls
Sure.
from all your
Yeah, it's 0 to 2, right?
0 to 2. So yeah, and almost all of the scum ships are damaged
Other
at this
than
point.
Guri.
Oh, I
And,
guess
L3.
L337 is not damaged yet. He doesn't have any damage
yeah,
cards,
it's
but
half.
still.
Still has 5 dies on the board. Yeah, we're down to already less than 25 minutes, so you've got a lot of health still on the board. And you really got to be thinking about those points, because right now, L3's half points,
Mhm.
Mahler's dead, so
Ben's
full
worth
points.
nothing yet.
Alpha's half points,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the only things that have been scored so far.
Well, the interesting thing is you put a hit on Fen, he's actually worth more half points than Mahler is totally gone.
Mm-hmm.
So that 1 more damage on Fen could have a major effect here. Gunrunner going down buys you a lot of
So you're
wiggle
going
room
after
too.
Fen.
See, that's what I would have done.
Now, would you boost in after him?
Yeah,
Yeah.
boost focus. For sure.
Hellrunner might be close enough to buff you anyway.
Maybe barrel roll focus. I don't know. but I definitely would do some sort of reposition action.
Yeah.
Focus, and then all across has a boost.
Yep, that's what I would do.
And Howl Runner likely at range 1 as well, so you have a pretty decent shot on Fenn if he's not able to completely evade your arc,
You got one.
which he's going to have a harder time doing with the damaged
One
engine.
hard.
Oh, hello, tractor beams.
Oh yeah.
Goodbye. That's
oh boy.
that's Del Mico, I think.
Oh, he's going on that rock, my friend. Right on that rock. I love it. I love this. I love this
Or
tractor token.
do you bullseye arc tractor Gideon
You are out of my
back onto the
bullseye,
other
so
rock?
it's only one.
I don't know. It looks like he's going for Del.
Now, if you don't have anybody to follow up on that Agility 1 TIE fighter anyways, then who cares?
Well, you can put him on a rock and do some damage.
Yeah.
And L337 is probably gonna get a shot. To be honest. Plus, you
he's gonna
prevent him. You
fly
prevent
over the
him
rock
from.
this time, too.
Yep, so you make him fly over the rock next turn. You're gonna make him lose an action,
Okay.
lose an agility, get a shot with
Roll for the rock.
L3337.
Fine.
It's okay. He's gonna fly back through it though.
Then your 2.
Then my 2, which is.
And yes, to answer the forums, every ship has a half points rule now, so you can't lock your points away in a pricey chassis.
Yeah, a small ship.
Mm-hmm. Small, medium, large.
Thing we saw all the time with Phantoms, with Corn Horn especially. 48-point Corn Horn was kind of the standard build, and
Oh yeah.
having that all be untouchable until you kill him.
Miranda too.
Really nasty. Yeah, Miranda's
Yeah.
another huge example, or Nim.
Yeah, yeah, all that stuff. It's good that that's gone. Just keeps things a little more equitable.
Yeah.
Gives
Oh, yeah.
gives ship lists with more ships a chance.
Okay.
God, what a fascinating game.
Gonna do a 1 straight.
Aha! Is he going to be able to get another coordinate off? That's the question. Another tractor beam.
Can you do the same action twice?
Oh no, you can't. Never mind. Sure. But you could give him a focus token. Get a shot off.
Oh yeah, I think that's still a good
Or
idea.
barrel roll out of arc.
Well, both those ties haven't moved.
Oh,
So-
true. So who knows?
No guarantees.
He's just going to calculate. All right.
So my 4.
Get a shot on that weakened tie.
2 forwards.
Yep.
Yeah, Beastman, I totally feel you on, the issue of solid 1.0 knowledge making it, in some ways, harder to do 2.0 because
Oh yeah.
dial and ability knowledge
Yeah.
sometimes is so close to transferring, but not quite.
Well, I've spent like the last year desperately trying to delete 1.0 from my brain so that I don't make mistakes. Either, when designing stuff or on streams or when just talking to people. I think it's mostly gone.
FFG Live
almost
on
all
point there. So was that a damage on Dell from the rock?
Looks like it.
It's not where you want to be, Gideon, but you don't really have a choice in
This is such an interesting game. I really like it.
So we'll focus. And Howl Runner.
Last but certainly not least from the
We got almost 20 minutes left,
The
too, so
scum.
we are really going to see things play out.
well, the crazy thing is, this game could be over in, 1 round.
Potentially.
These TIE fighters get shots.
Well,
That's a nice
this
block
is a
right
pretty, if he can block Fenn, he's in such good shape.
there. Range 1.
And remember,
4 dice.
Fenn's got damaged. Damaged.
That's what I'm saying.
engines, Yeah.
Reveal 1
Whew.
bank. Use advanced sensors for a lock action.
Nice.
Looks like I got Dell.
Yep. So I
Nice.
Take a lock on Dell.
And he's going to get the focus for range 1, too.
Oh, yeah.
Very so good.
Nice that she is now, though.
She's always been good. She was just expensive in
Well,
first edition.
yeah, good for
Yeah,
Points.
well, that's the beauty of the changeable points values.
Mhm.
You see something that's not effective, you can make it effective. You see something that's dominating, you can chill it out a little bit.
He's very thankful.
I think a lot of the points
What do you
values
do? What
are.
do you do?
do 2 banks. As I had originally planned.
Well, that's better for him, but it's still not great.
This isn't a ton better.
At least you don't eat range 1 from the Alpha?
I mean, you can barrel roll out of the TIE Fighter's arc.
Yep.
That's not terrible. Or you can just, hope you don't die.
Oof.
That's not a nice place for Fen to be.
Oof.
Fen is
Why not barrel roll? Oh,
well, because you don't want to get flipping shot by
You gain a focus. Guri gets a focus.
He takes him very close to the edge of the board. That's why.
that too.
So, no shot from your
And a
side.
TIE
I gotta
fighter.
say, Martyn has been very impressive at dealing with the threat of Fen.
Yes.
This
Yeah.
is a very expert.
He's kept him under threat the entire time.
well, he's just zoned him out. It's
So-
really smart.
This is TIE fighter shooting.
Oh no. Okay, Hell Runner. Oh man.
Wah, wah.
Even if I spend it, you'll just spend it gone. So,
Wow. Yeah, and you gotta remember Concord Dawn is in
So
effect.
then, my Guri.
Still got that alpha though.
So that's going to be.
That was the TIE fighter,
range
I do believe.
That was Hal Runner.
Yep.
Yep.
So it'll be 5-3 versus your
He was too far away to Storm Tactics.
Yep.
This is Gary.
Looks like
You'll spin the focus for hit double crit.
brutal. Green dice. Well, that's a classic
They are
tie
green.
roll.
They are actually, in fact, all green. No white.
Classic tie roll. So here's where it comes into play. Does that alpha have what it takes to take out Fen? Because if not, this is starting to look pretty good for Scum.
Check the beam. Yes. So my 4s.
Get some shots on L3.
I mean, this is not bad.
range 2, and it is obstructed. Okay.
He's got to make something happen here, though.
And
He's starting to lose ties.
yeah.
You haven't taken the damage card yet, so I'm still only on
Correct.
2 dice.
Jeez, not coming through. Do you spend? I think you might.
Well,
I don't know.
you're going to get shot by the quadrumper, though.
I know, right?
Do it.
Okay.
It's not doing it.
So then your.
Yeah, I think with 2 dice and a calculate versus
Yeah.
1, I don't think the odds are great.
I think you're right. You got another shot coming in. What a round. Not shaking out so well for Martyn.
I think it's just obstructed.
Range 2 obstructed.
Yeah.
Beautiful play, but the dice are not coming through for him.
So this is Night Beast.
Come on, Night Beast. You're a beast. There we go.
Not bad.
Better. Better.
And spin the
Hot
calculate
dice.
for 2.
Yeah.
Hot dice.
I just want to see, I mean, this is all cool, but I want to see that alpha.
Well, that's what
Yeah,
it's all
so
going to
that's
come
gonna
down
be
to, isn't it?
3 to the alpha.
Assuming it survives.
Ooh.
Assuming it survives. Scum's been winning the dice game so far.
He needs the evade. He wants that focus to stick around.
Oh, he's
oh
good.
yeah.
Isn't it? It's always
Not
overkill.
today,
You
Dad.
always roll 4 evades when you just need 1.
So now you're 1.
All right, this is where he really needs to roll some paint. Needs to make this stick.
Range 2.
Perfect. Beautiful. All right, Alpha. Earn your wings, buddy.
That looks pretty
yeah.
good. What's the third one?
They made this guy an interceptor for a reason.
Ooh.
All right, Fen needs perfect paint.
So I will spin the focus for 3 events.
Damn, not Martyn's round. Not his round.
Away.
Not his round.
And then,
Fenn's still running scared, but
but you obviously your choice.
Let's see, where's
Tough.
Gideon at? He's healthy.
Yeah.
Hal Runner has 1 on her. That's a range 3. Yeah, we'll go ahead and shoot Gideon.
yeah, I mean, you have a better chance of getting half points, maybe.
Yeah,
Sneak 2 through.
nothing. Rough round for Martyn. Some really great shots he had lined up and just didn't pay off. That's how it goes sometimes. Yeah, you can see some of his frustration coming through. It's tough to play so well and then just have your dice just not come through for you. But the
Well,
Scum,
in that case, it was Joel's dice coming through.
true.
Because he was rolling the hits. Joel was just rolling evades everywhere.
Well, but then he triple blanked on that tie when he needed some paint.
Oh, sure. Power runner.
Yeah,
What is let's see what the time remaining is.
it's like about 15 minutes, I guess. We'll try to get the clock put up here. I think I just heard 15 minutes. 13.
There we go.
43.
So continue pursuing Fenn.
It's tough. It's tough.
Fenn's going to be banking.
Well, here's where things get hard for the Empire because Guri's fully armed and operational, and that tug is not gone, and Fenn is fleeing but not really compromised. It's not going so hot for the Empire anymore.
Yeah, Guri can actually go pick off that Alpha if she needs to.
Oh yeah, Guri can get it done. That Alpha's hanging on by a fingernail.
Anybody who's asking, we have one more game after this. So the 6 games today need to be 4 and 2 to advance, as far as I know.
So this is a very critical game for both of these players.
Yeah, I mean, Howard can't K-turn, so she's got to just Howard 1.
Yep.
So, but Fenn knows that.
Fenn doesn't have great options, but he's also not doing so bad.
You're 1?
Yes.
That tugboat is a real danger.
It is. He's done significant damage himself, and
2 bank for
that
Ivan.
Alpha is in prime asteroid throwing location.
Yeah, it's not great. It's really not great. Could boost to the left, I suppose. Try to chase Fenn down a little.
Then I think you get thrown on the other one, though.
I don't think so. I don't think the range is quite there. I guess it depends. Tough position for Martyn to be in.
I think you've. Oh, man. I don't know. I don't know. He's just got 2 ties going after L3 here that aren't helping the rest of the fight.
No, and they need to bring that ship down. It's such a threat.
I don't disagree, but at the same time, I sure wish those 2 ties were helping me kill Fenn right now.
Right? I understand why this happened, and I don't fault it, but it is a tough place for Martyn to be in.
Looks like the judge checking on something.
Because it's really on it's the space tug factor array.
Focus, boost.
Yep, it's got to get out of there. That's what I would do.
Yeah, I think he is clear.
I don't
of,
think
an
you
asteroid.
can get rolled onto a rock from there.
Nope.
And it helps you get guns on Fenn potentially, which is important.
It does, but at the same time, it also might make it easier for him to now boost past you with a bank. and a
Maybe
boost.
Fenn could also just hard 1 and come in.
It just says
Yeah.
choose 1 at range 1.
Yep.
That'd be red, but
And the you know, yeah, tractor tug can really change things too. Those Jakku gunrunners so dangerous if you leave them on the board.
3 straight.
and gonna get to
Here
mess
it
with him
comes.
here in some way.
Oh yeah. What a mean list.
Or
No, that alpha's getting tractored, my friend.
is it more effective to do it to Hellrunner and send her off the board?
Well, I don't know that he's got the range. And remember, you got to declare first. Got to be at range 1.
You get 2, doesn't make any difference, and I'm not going to.
Okay.
Oh, just taking the agility down.
Why would you not? You can
Because
boost,
Fenn's going to do a hard 1 to kill it.
Can you boost?
You
boost
can't
them only
boost-
straight, or it's
you
only
can-
barrel roll now.
I don't remember. I think you can boost him straight, but I don't know that you need to. I think Fenn's going to do a hard 1.
Stress.
I'm sure someone will tell us here in about 2 seconds.
Yeah, right? I've been working on Legion for the last couple months. I'm a little rusty on my X-Wing rolls. Here comes the escape craft. Yeah, there's some real bargain buys in the scum faction at the moment. Plot jumpers, escape crafts.
You can boost straight. You can't
Yeah,
boost curve.
that's what I thought.
So I mean, a curve boost would be amazing.
Well, here's the thing, though.
Straight boost doesn't help.
I think Fenn's just going to come in and blow that thing up. I don't see any reason why he wouldn't.
Sure, but if you could curve boost, then you could just kill it that
Throw
way.
it off the board, maybe.
Next turn.
Yeah,
Yes.
Not have to worry about dice.
yeah, that's true.
Ooh,
That's why you can't. It's too scary.
Fancy.
I just want to see where Fenn ends up.
Colin, man, hard one.
I mean, with the failure to move, I think that's very likely. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hard one.
Interesting. Still gonna get shot on the alpha though.
Oh yeah. No, Fenn's in good shape now. He got out of that. He got lucky.
He did.
Martyn played that really, really well, but the green dice came through for Fenn Rao.
And just a lot of considering his action here. I mean, if you suspect he's hard one in, you're already blocking it, so barrel rolling doesn't help you.
Right.
I just evade,
Probably.
just in case.
Maybe barrel roll to set up something next turn, but probably not. Yeah, just focus.
Don't really know what else I can do there.
It's
But yeah.
interesting.
Alright, so Guri
Yeah, this list is going to just start scissoring these
is
ties
going
apart at this
to
point.
Reveal one straight.
I think Martyn played super well. He set up all the opportunities for victory, and the dice did not come through for him.
Ooh.
And now Guri can just sort of surgically dismantle this this pack of ties.
And execute the one straight, which is going to bump them.
Bump City.
And then just take the shot at Dell.
Why not, right? Guri's got no damage. Del can't protect.
I really like the advanced sensors Guri there.
It's so mean.
And then
It's so mean. She's so good.
doing the one hard.
Someone's
You saw
excited.
that coming.
Yep. That's what I would have done. Just turn down the external sound a little bit. Yeah, I think that is one dead interceptor.
No dice modification though. Although,
He's Fenn Rao.
see, it's five dice,
Yeah. Who needs mods? Who needs mods when you're hucking 5 dice?
and your target's agility is dropped.
Exactly. You just
That's
gotta,
probably
and
the
he only
more,
needs to chip 1 damage through.
Sure.
It's perfectly fine. You know, the dice may say otherwise, but odds are that's a dead interceptor. 5v2. It's not looking good. Interceptor's only got what, focus?
For what it's worth, I'll sort
Yes.
Yeah, it's not a great situation to be
It
in.
means he can shoot no one before he gets selected.
Ah.
And then Guri gets focus.
He gave him squad tactics just for funsies.
9, 6, yeah, so 5.
I mean, that's just a good.
I'm
That's
a
a
real
good.
pilot. Oh god.
Oh god.
There's 3 hits.
Yeah, who needs?
1 green dice.
No, you two. The check beam is not. It's not. Okay.
Yep. So people clearly still adjusting to some of the 2.0 differences, but still dead. Nothing.
Very, very dead.
Extra dead.
1, 2.
Yeah, it's not looking good for the Empire, ladies and gentlemen. Not looking good for the baddies. I guess they're both baddies.
Yeah, I mean, there's really no good guys.
There's no. Well, I'm gonna root for the scum and villainy here in the good old U.S. of A.
So he's gonna, man, if he takes another tie here with Guri.
Guri
Guri getting the focus from her ability.
Yep.
So 3 hits.
So mean.
That's another dead TIE fighter.
We're seeing a lot of classic Imperial TIE Fighter rolls here.
That's all right. We knew he's dead.
We did, but I think it's all over crying.
That was
here
also
for,
Gideon, who was unhurt until that.
Yeah. Another classic Empire roll.
Yeah, looking very, very good for Joel here. Sorry to all those of you from the UK watching here with Martyn Chivers.
That's right.
But this looks like a serious uphill battle.
Well, and after this game, we're going to dump a bunch of tea into the lake, so
Which
really
of
rub it
the
in.
10,000 plus?
oh,
Or
we've
we
got,
don't want to tell
we've got
them.
like 11,600 lakes to choose from.
Chip in. Oh, yeah, safe.
We don't have a harbor. We could go to Duluth, dump it in the harbor.
Would a bay work? There's a lot more bays. So is the Gunrunner shooting and getting absolutely nothing on Howrunner.
Fascinating.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Halrunner can turn around and try and
No.
fight, but
It was a good
I
fight
don't
by
think
Martyn,
that's
but
going to happen.
well, you know, at a certain point with the tie swarm list, it's just over.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, and Guri is here. Just you've got unhurt Night Beast, but
you know, had things gone a little differently, had Fen been taken down, had had L337 gotten exploded on the turn where they had a lot of good shots.
Absolutely.
On it, I think really great play on both sides of the table. Sometimes it comes down to dice, and I think that
I can't fault Martyn's decisions or his piloting at all. So.
No, it was a tough matchup, to be honest. Like this is a list that's really well suited against the swarm list.
Sure.
Because it's got so many flexible maneuvering options, and it has the ability to roll things onto rocks. It's never good for high agility, low health ships. It's a very interesting game. But everybody here on the stream today has really just shown their mettle. Every single player here is among the very best of the best. So nobody is having easy games today.
Yeah, they've all had a road to get here.
Sailing to victory today.
Yes. So he's doing one straight.
And distracting Halrunner.
And we'll tractor Halrunner.
And Booster, just to mess with her maneuvering just a little bit. Yeah, I like that. I like that space tug.
That's so good.
And there's really not anybody Night Beast can even try and kill.
No, unfortunately. I mean, yeah. Unfortunately. Good barrel roll for a shot at the Gunrunner. Honestly, the Gunrunner was kind of MVP this game.
He did some serious work.
Fen only shot once, I think. No, he got a shot early on.
Yeah, one or two shots early on.
There was a very early,
range.
long range whiff fest, but,
Just gonna do a two
you just need him to bring the hammer down at the right time. He can take his time about it. There comes that Droid Revolutionary. Got a little Droid Revolution sub-theme going on here. You got Guri, you got L337.
The Gunrunner is going to
Focus. Target lock. Can it?
Apparently we got a Birmingham v. Birmingham match here. Alabama v. UK.
I'm just trying to stay
Run away, Halrunner.
in arc.
Run away.
yes.
But don't run too close to the edge of the board.
Ah, yeah.
Nice.
I considered the cater. It would have been hilarious, but
And we got a little bit of a bump fest here. Probably Fenn's just going to end this in this ship's life.
I think 2 straight keeps him just short.
I don't know.
What does he hit?
I think he's going to be just short, but it's hard to tell.
So
That's it. This is all she wrote, and it's going to be a win, solid win for Scum.
Yeah.
No matter how this round shakes out.
Nothing really able to be killed here, so.
No, it's just about margin at this point.
Yeah. I should say nothing on the Scum side.
Yep.
Ty could definitely go down.
Well, and Joel needs to bump up his margin too, because he's only going to be 3-2 at the end of this game.
Nice. Just misses the rock.
Very nice. Beautiful flying right there.
So then Fen, 2 forward. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got room. That's gonna hurt.
Oh yeah, plenty of room. See ya, Halrunner. And he's got time for an action. Or target lock.
Actually,
Well, actually.
Why not, right?
I called it, so I gotta do it? Alright, cool.
Same really with him. We had to keep it fair.
Oh, good.
it's going to blow up regardless.
5 dice.
Beginning of combat. Let's see
Jeez.
if Guri has it.
Oh,
And
yeah.
She does.
Such a good ship.
So what was
I've got
Guri's
range 5
actual
sword
action?
Tactics.
Barrel roll? Advanced sensors barrel roll? I missed it.
Oh, it might have been an advanced sensors thing.
I mean, that's kind
I
of
think that's what it was.
it's kind of her whole shtick, right? She's got target lock, I think. Might have been target lock.
So I need double evade. That's not double evade.
Ooh.
I want to
Rough.
go.
Is he going to get the full wipe here? I mean, he's unlikely to kill Night Beast. Night Beast unhurt.
Could happen though.
Only takes one shot. It's going to be 4 dice.
Then Guri, range 1 obstructed.
4 on 4.
Could happen. Guri's got a target lock too, I believe. So.
Yep. There's a crit in there.
Oh well.
No.
Still. All right.
Still possible.
4 blanks.
Safe.
Safe. And that's it. That's all she wrote.
Dell does technically get to shoot at the Gunrunner or...
Oh yeah, that's true. Might get
Fen.
half points on that Gunrunner. Half points on Fel.
Spend it. Takes a
Yeah, I mean, Gunrunner is definitely the easier bet.
I don't take anything.
Yeah, you're good. All
I
right.
see that one.
Yeah, I was wondering why it was a big dilemma.
I thought I was taking one.
Yeah,
or-
yeah.
So I get a shot.
Yep.
Go for the tug.
Okay.
Or do you go for those tasty half points on
So
Fen?
each one, you got to get 1 damage to get half.
Yeah.
Well, you've got...
Doesn't matter much.
It's also
Versus
reduced agility, so it's 1 agility on the
It's got
tug.
structural damage. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So way easier to hit.
I mean, and at this point, you're not really bowling for the win, so
Tug.
might as well punish that tug. Pew.
There you go.
There you go.
And the
That'll
1
do her.
damage you need for points.
Half points. So
All
we
right.
get a win for Joel Killingsworth.
Big win for Joel. Really well flown for both of those players, though. Tough luck
Night
for
Beast is
Martyn.
lone survivor of the Rebel, or excuse me, the Imperial squad.
Yep.
L3.
Yep.
He's fine. He only took 1 damage.
Wow.
So half points on the
Brutal.
Gunrunner and L3. That's only 25, I think, total.
That's not much. I think what is 28 for
So
a gun runner, so
brutal.
you're gonna get.
Yeah, I mean, it's 14 and 12. 26?
So might be
Were you at 200?
26. I'm at 198.
So you got 28, so I got 172.
Well, that was round 5.
Yep.
We've got one more game of X-Wing here tonight.
Yeah, we've seen some great ones on the stream so far. I'm excited to see what we have coming. We have about 15-minute break here.
Yep.
Hey, yeah, big.
So stay tuned. Round 6 coming up around 7:15.